my channel. Thanks for tuning in today. Today's look is going to be sort of like an everyday makeup routine. I went a little extra with the contour and the lashes and all that. You definitely don't have to do it that extra, but this is basically a really simple eye look, a really nice bold lip, some really nice dewy skin, and this is what I typically love to do like on an everyday, just to have really nice glowing healthy looking skin and a really simple eye with a nice bold lip. So if you want to see how I got this makeup look, then just keep on watching. Just a disclaimer in case you're wondering, no, I'm not naked. I have a dress on. It looks a little peculiar right now. It looks like I have absolutely nothing on. Hey guys. But I swear I do have a dress on. So I'm going to first start off priming my face. I'm going to be using the Step 1 Nourishing Primer from Makeup Forever. If you've ever seen any of my tutorials, you know that this stuff is the bee's knees. I love it so much. My makeup stays all day. It does nourish your face very well. But just to get some added nourishment, I really like mixing it with a moisturizer. The moisturizer I love mixing it with is this Nivea Essentially Enriched Body Lotion. I'm just going to mix the two together on the back of my hand, and then I'll just apply it all over my face. I'm just blending it all together. Do you see my face though? How it instantly adds like this sort of nice hydrated sheen to your skin, and it makes it look glowy already. Like I just love this stuff so much. I'm gonna go in with my foundation, and this is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. I use the shade Y225. So I'm just spreading this all over. I don't do this in any particular way or design or anything. I literally just kind of mishmash it all over my face. Okay, I do want to bring a little bit down my neck as well, just to make sure everything's nice and even. And then to blend that out, I'm going to go in with my wet beauty sponge from Real Techniques. I did run this under cold water and then wring all the water I could out of it, so it's nice and puffy and soft. I'm just blending that all in, making sure it's nice and buffed into the skin. And then now we're going to go ahead and go in with my concealer. I'm going to go ahead and do the face first, since the eyes really don't require that much. And I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer first. As you can see, I have a little bit of blueness right here under my eyes, and what this does, what this Fit Me is really good at, is because it is such a nice sort of peach salmon-y color, that it really combats the blueness under your eyes and just kind of hides any dark imperfections or circles that you might have. That added with the Naked Skin by Urban Decay. I really like the Urban Decay. I like the coverage of it. I like the brightening effect of it. I find that these two together are just absolutely the bomb. Putting that all over my under eye area in my regular highlighted areas as well. Oh, and I can't forget, I'm also going to prime my eyelids with the concealer as well. Okay, so we're going to grab the Beauty Blender once more and start blending that out. After that's all buffed and blended, you want to go in and set it. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me setting powder, and this is just the normal to dry kind because I am very dry. I have hit pan on it. I'm running really low, but I'm going to the store after this video, so I'm going to pick some more up. I'm not using too many eyeshadows, so I mean, really not that big of a deal, but I just want to have like a nice blank canvas for what shadows I do go in with. So just kind of go in one direction if you can, just nice tapping motions. I like to go in with a translucent powder just to set the rest of my face, and I find that this is the Prep Set Go transparent face powder from Milani. I don't want to add any coloring as well, which is another reason I got the transparent powder, so that it doesn't add any extra coloring, because a lot of times my foundation has a nice coloring to it, especially when it oxidizes. It looks a little tan, and I don't want to make my face super dark. So you want to also make sure to set down your neck as well. Now that we've got that done, I'm going to go ahead and just do my eyebrows real quick. To just clean this guy up a tiny bit on the outer tail. I'll do a little bit on the inner tail as well. The brush I'm going to go in with is just this random Morphe brush. It doesn't have a name or anything or a number. It's like a tiny little flat head long brush, if that made any sense. It's actually the first time I've used this brush. I just kind of picked it up randomly. It's not bad for doing this purpose, blending this out. It's actually nice and precise, so you get that straight line. I think this came in, I've talked about it before, that vegan brush set collection that I got from Morphe, which I highly recommend because it's on sale and you get 18 brushes for like 40 something dollars, like hello. And they have really good brushes. I'm still discovering some of the brushes that I haven't really had use for. It looks so weird when I have like nothing on my face and then a full thing of brows. Like I look like a freaking alien, you guys. Now on to contour. I'm using my Shade and Light palette from, I was about to say Violet Voss. I don't know where that came from. My Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. The brush I'm using is this brush right here. It does not have a name or number, but I'm pretty sure it's a crown brush. I really like to sort of kind of squeeze it down to make that nice line. Now, ideally, you could use something like this, where it's very, very thin to carve out your contour, but I really don't like to have a super, super harsh contour. In this Shade and Light palette, I use definitely not that one. This one right here is the lightest shade in the palette. And I'm just going to pick it up on this brush and then dust it off like that. Again, we're just going to kind of squeeze it a little bit. But we're going to go from the top of the ear, right where that little crevice is at the bottom of my cheekbone, where that nice hollow is, and then sort of drag it down. Now, there's two different kind of shapes that you can draw. You can draw a straight line that kind of really cuts it, or you can draw more of kind of like a U shape in a way. I like to personally do a straight line because I have such a round shaped face that when I do that sort of, you know, U-shaped contour, it really accentuates the roundness in my face. So I really just like to cut it to kind of make my face look a little bit slimmer. And see, it looks a little harsh now, but then I can dust off my brush and then go in and buff it out with that same brush. You can basically just clean it up with any sort of setting powder, which I'm going to do a little later. So it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but just as good as it's gonna get, which I like the shape of that. I mean, and I don't go very far either. I really literally just go to the tip of my brow right here, where I have it stop. If you bring it more in, you're really gonna look kind of a little bit more hollowed than you want to look, and it's definitely not gonna look as natural. Sometimes if you have a rounder face, it's not necessarily a great idea to do bronzer on your temples because again, it rounds out your face. But I find it kind of weird when you've got bronzer on your forehead and then bronzer on your cheeks and it's just kind of blank. So I don't know, just me personally, I'll just deal with me looking like I have a rounder face than normal, just to make it look a little bit more even. I'm going to drag it down your neck as well. I'm going to again grab my powder, and I just used this little applicator it comes with. Grab a little bit on one section of it, and I'll go right underneath, right here. I'll go right underneath to really clean that line up so that it's nice and crisp. You know, we started off with it being nice and cut, and then when we kind of blend it in with the, I'm sorry I'm so nasally today, when we blend it in with the bronzer, it does kind of make it look a little bit less defined. So I'm just gonna add some definition back and just lighten that area up right underneath the contour. I did go a little heavy-handed on this side as opposed to this side, you can definitely tell. I'll just go in with a Real Techniques, this is just a duo fiber brush, and just kind of buff that in. And then I'll go in with that powder again just to define it if you wiped away some of it from before. I'm gonna go ahead and add my blush. I'm using this e.l.f. palette today. This is the light version. They have two, I think, light and medium, and this is the light. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is one of my favorite shades, and I love them all, but this is probably my favorite shade because it is sort of like a peachy corally color with a little bit of flecks of gold shimmer in it. So just blending that into the skin. I love this color so much. It's so pretty. Of course, I'm using my holy grail product, which is the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. It's so freaking gorgeous. It's funny, when I first got this, I was not the biggest, I mean, I liked it, but I just felt like it was a little bit too dark for my skin tone. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the summer months. I've been getting a little bit of a tan, but it is just so beautiful. I absolutely love this. It goes really well. It's not quite as light as like my other kind that I like, which is the opal, but I really like it because it is a really nice kind of blush topper, and it adds a really beautiful highlighted golden sheen. And it's not super gold like I had originally thought it was. It does have a lot of champagne in it. I'm adding it to my regular highlighted areas, my chin, cupid's bow, the tip of my nose. So bam, look at that freaking highlight, you guys. That is so crazy. All right, so now that we're pretty much done with the face, I'm gonna go ahead and do the eyes. So I'm gonna grab my eyeshadows. Most of them are Makeup Geek. Actually, I think every single one in this particular Z palette are Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I like to start off, as you can tell, these two that have hit major pan are my favorite base shadows. I use pretty much every day, and they're a mixture of Peach Smoothie and Creme Brûlée. So I literally will just mix these two together. Basically, in the inner corner, just added in this shade right here, which is a Makeup Geek foiled shadow in Starry Eye. I started off doing it with my fingers just to get really nice in that kind of inner crease area. Get it nice and concentrated, and then you can use a brush just to kind of nice and diffuse it outwards. Just adds a nice kind of pop of something on your lids instead of just, you know, a dull matte look. I just love having some sort of shimmer on my lids, especially just in a small amount. It just, again, adds a really nice pop. I'm just going to curl my lashes. I'm going to use this right here. This is the Colourpop black eyeliner in Swerve, just to get nice up into my lash line. I'm just going to add a little bit of black. Add a little bit more depth underneath the eye as far as the brown goes, so I actually want to go in with this color right here, Enod. It's such a beautiful sort of brick brown reddish shade. This is the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in the color Cozy. I'm going in with the Queen Bee lashes. Alright, so just to top it all off, I'm just going to set my face with the Fix Plus from MAC. Oh, I love this stuff. Oh, it feels so good. Alright, you guys, well, that is the finished look. This, again, is just a very everyday makeup routine video. This look literally will take you about 30 minutes once you master the technique. And you can always go without the lashes, without the contour, without the bold lip, just do a nude lip. You know, you could always twist it and tweak it to kind of make it your own and make it a little bit quicker and more of an everyday for you. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see anything else specifically, just leave me a comment down in the section below so that I can definitely do that for you. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe, follow me on social media, like if you liked the video, and I'll see you next time.